opening up the September 5th edition of The Magic Show. We are going global tonight as we look at some of the finest young artists in the euphoric sound right now. We are going to Scotland a little bit later on to catch the sounds of Aviate. Our guest tonight is one of my personal favourites. Hailing from Norway, we will be welcoming Refusion. But starting off the show tonight, he did open with the anthem and he is now about to present you his purple soundtrack for DEF CON Australia together with artist BLN. He is one of our residents. Ladies and gentlemen, with the next generation, this is Firelight.
Welcome to another episode. Of the Magic Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this brand new edition of The Magic Show. As we head towards Christmas, it is December the 19th, and on tonight's episode, we have again...
Hey guys, my name is Pez, and you are now listening to my new monthly show called The Pezcast. Can you believe that DEF CON 1 Australia is right around the corner?
Let's get down tonight.
To celebrate Christmas in September, I've teed up with an extremely young and talented producer to bring you a special DEF CON 1 Australia G-Up guest mix. He is none other than Firelight. You are now listening to The Pezcast.
Let's get down tonight. Let's get down tonight. I feel the music from my head to my toes, and I just let the rhythm take full control. And I start to dance, shake my ass all night. Come on, everybody, let's get down tonight. I'm so hot and sexy, I can't stand myself. Get up, get down, everybody join now. Dance with me, brother. Come on, dance with me, mother. Come on, dance with me, father. Come on, dance with yourself.
nature's best-kept secret is unveiled. By warming your soul and coloring your spirit through temperature, once your skin gets touched by the golden gleam of light, walk into these fields and become the children of the sun. Sunbeams have always been the carekeepers of joy in the life of mankind. Once your skin gets touched by the golden gleam of light, walk into these fields and become the children of the sun. Your skin gets touched by the golden gleam of light. Walk into these fields and become the children of the sun.
Macarena. And the boys they say que soy buena. They all want me, they can't have me, so they all come and dance beside me. Move with me, chant with me, and if you're good, I'll take you home with me.
Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría y cosas buenas. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría.
So let me hit you off with all the hardness, artifact shit. You got the hard shit regardless. Artifact shit. You got the hard shit regardless. Artifact shit. You got the hard shit regardless. Start taking notes, stating all quotes. Niggas couldn't see me through them optometrist scopes. Open by the rhythm MCs that's hardest. New Jerusalem, artifacts be the artist. Main target, crews who think they bring it the news. Who's this? Kicking in your empty box, Chris. As long as the boom squad is hearing me clear, there ain't another rapper here that's gonna G this year. G. You so let me hit you off with all the hardness. Artifact shit, we got the hard shit regardless. Regardless. Artifact shit, we got the hard shit regardless. Artifact shit, we got the hard shit regardless. Start taking notes, stating all quotes. Niggas couldn't see me through them optometrist scopes. Open, about the rhythm MCs that's hard. Artifact shit, we got the hard shit regardless. Niggas couldn't see me through artifact shit, we got the hard shit regardless. Artifact shit, we got the hard shit regardless. So let me hit you off with all the hardness. Artifact shit, we got the hard shit regardless. Artifact shit, we got the hard shit regardless. Artifact shit, we got the hard shit regardless. bass, treble, treble. Bass, treble, treble.
Oh, it's good work on the turning down of the music. After all that, Luke, you were like, oh, when do I turn it down? And I'm like, you've got a countdown timer. And then, like, you just ignored it. Jesus.
Look at the countdown timer.
All right, let's do the show. Yeah. Hello and welcome to Unhinged, planet Earth's only online program dedicated to the sounds of the underground. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button. If you are watching on Twitch, please hit the follow. And if for those on our Facebook page, don't forget to throw the Unhinged TV page and like to get all the updates of when we go live and all that sort of jazz. As per usual on the show, if you can hear me loudly and clearly, let's smash those plane reacts. Oh, I thought I was funny. Studio audience is a bit lacking. Hey, what's up?
Didn't they kill Plane React after one day?
You're not even on the show yet, Ben.
Who are you? Who said
Yeah,
that?
Jesus. So, you hit the wow faces if you can hear me loudly and clearly. If we've never met, my name is Kaiser. I'm the host of tonight's show. And it wouldn't be an Unhinged without my partner in crime. Give a warm round of applause to Mr. Luke Davids. Yay! I just realised, Luke, you're very small on the screen, so I'm going to fix you up a little bit.
I'm bigger in person.
Hey, you're not really. How have you been since the last show? It's been a good month or so.
Yeah, I've been, well, good. I'd say good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've been alright. Have you been?
This show's off to a ripper start.
Cracking.
I was being slightly sarcastic.
All I've done is work.
Oh, okay.
And I went for a bike ride. That was about it.
Thanks for tuning in to Unhinged. This is the two most boring people in Sydney. Fucking hell. Ben, you're going to have to save the show, bro. Hey, Luke, how about you tell us what's on tonight's show?
Well, it's going to be a wicked show. Kaiser? I can't call you Kaiser. I'm going to call you Caleb.
Okay.
Firstly, we need to make a quick announcement about tonight's show because David Shoebridge
Yes?
couldn't make it in. Unfortunately, one of his goldfish passed away, so he had to take care of that. No, he couldn't make it in, but he will be coming in possibly on the next show. So we'll be looking forward to that. We do have some guy named Firelight in the show.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm aware of him.
We have the gig guide, we have What Fucks Me Off, and we have a couple of other little surprises.
I was pretty keen on having David in the show, but I think this has been a bit of a blessing in disguise because the David Shoebridge interview was going to be pre-recorded, and I've never edited a video before, ever. So that was going to be really interesting, and I'm really grateful that now I don't have to do that. But we are looking at the next show, which is probably going to be on the 5th of next month. We're going to have him live in the studio, so you can ask him all those crazy questions like what is going to happen in relation to sniffer dogs at DEF CON 1, which will be 2 weeks after that. So we'll keep you updated as to whether or not that's going to be the 5th or it's going to be the following weekend. But Dave's actually really keen to come onto the show. Yeah. So...
Yeah.
Cool. We're going to have an ad. I'm going to reset. And when we come back, this show's going to be much more enjoyable.
Are you ready for the ultimate celebration in 6 weeks?
Alright guys, we're going to kick things off with the Unhinged news as of, what's the date today? The 8th of August 2018. Your Shot almost wraps up. Hard Dance Sydney comes together. Mark E.G. rescues a party in Bristol. And the new law that might affect your night out. But we're going to start off, of course, with Your Shot. Your Shot, kicking off the Unhinged news. The Your Shot DJ competition is almost over with only the Melbourne leg to go. So far, Your Shot Tour has completed both the Brisbane and Sydney legs to much success. Overall, Sydney winner Emma Chivers took out the top gong on the July the 28th. Julian Dalla Palma took out the wildcard component. and the Brisbane event held on the 14th of July was won by Shimra Singh, whose DJ name was Scram, who I think was actually a Sydney DJ, and the wildcard winner was Justine Bedsa, otherwise known as Tiny. Melbourne's turn to host Your Shot will be covered in the gig guide later on. Winners will receive a 6-week DJ course, which I could probably do with myself. Are you guys all right over there? All right. They get a 6-week DJ course, and many doors will open to them. Notable winners of Your Shot include Tiger Lily and one of our favourite DJ producers, Risque. Also in Unhinged news is Unity. Huge news this week for Sydney Hard Dance with the formation of one heck of a party. 8 brands, which include Rehab, 170, Massive Saturdays, HSU, Rocket Science, Noise Disorder, Night Vision, and ESI have all joined forces to bring you this mega event that you can see on on your right of screen, Unity. Huge news on multiple levels. Never before in any hard dance scene that I'm aware of has 8 individual events come together in such a way, and with such a diverse offering of music from hard trance, hardstyle, Dutch and UK hardcore, and raw style. This night will no doubt sell out with so many promoters working together, so get your tickets now. When Mr. Steve Hill, and the guys from Massive Saturdays first pitched the idea of the event, I personally decided to call the event Rehab and Friends. But after a unanimous decision in the negative, it was agreed that a more apt name might be Unity. That was my joke. We've got to rent a crowd next show, I think. There's so many people in here too.
There's never been this many people.
I don't think there has been. Maybe that's why we're a bit nervous. Like, we've got an actual audience as opposed to an online one. The relationship between all of us as leaders of our respective genres is very tight. And we are all always working together to do our utmost to avoid clashing dates. And let me tell you, that's really hard with 8 brands at work. Some people have asked why other brands were not included on this event. And I want to point out that this doesn't take away from any of those events, and this is by no means a reflection of their event. Some of the brands are just starting out, some cater for small niche crowds. But if you are in the Sydney rave scene, then Unity is a celebration of everyone's involvement. So make sure you come along. There's some cool DJ that's playing at it. Oh, you guys all suck. Let's move along. In somewhat developing news, a festival in the UK by the name of Another World has caused quite a shitstorm after cancelling 3 days out from the event. The 3-day camping festival scheduled to be held in Bristol had just over 300 DJs booked. That's 300. And I say booked, but some of those DJs actually never knew that they were booked, according to their management. In a rather unusual reason for the cancellation, excessive sheep shit was cited for the reason why it was cancelled. Now, this wouldn't normally be news, but after the event was cancelled, all traces of the event were deleted online. Punters have labelled the event a complete scam, after it was also revealed that since the promoters are the ones that actually set up the ticketing site, no one will be getting refunds. Dodgy. But sometimes when there is tragedy, there emerges a hero. And allow me to introduce said hero to you. This is Mark E.G. from the UK. Mark E.G. is possibly one of the craziest DJs I've ever seen. Just take a look at him. He has built a name for himself in the field of hard trance, but now produces some pretty crazy techno. Mark put on Facebook that if there was interest, he might be able to slap a party together. And next minute come the birth of A Different World, which I also think is kind of funny because he's... Yeah, because it was called Another World. Yeah, okay. He's managed to soften the blow from these reckless promoters. In a matter of 3 to 4 days, he has basically put together one hell of a party. It's free for all those people that... It happened on the weekend. It was free for all those that had tickets to the event, and people who didn't have tickets had to give a £5 donation. £5.
That's hefty.
I've never gone to an event that costs $5.
Well, it's probably like what, $7?
Ben's not even 18 yet. He's probably. I'm joking. Oh dear.
21.
Hey.
Huh? No.
What?
No.
All right. And lastly, in the news, we've got a story about ticket scalping, but I don't have a graphic up. The laws have changed in relation to reselling tickets. As of right now, it is illegal in New South Wales to resell a ticket for more than 10% of the original price purchased. It is now law that if you advertise a ticket online, you must have the original price of the ticket that you paid for in the ad listing. If you are concerned that someone is selling a ticket for profit, you can contact the event organizer or you can contact the police. Now, this is what might interest you. This also includes if you won a ticket in a competition, it is illegal to sell it for any money. $550 fines apply to anyone breaking this law. Ticket scalping has now has a maximum fine of $22,000 for individuals and $110,000 for corporations. This concludes news for Unhinged of August, I guess. Whatever the last fucking month was, July. Man, you guys are giving me nothing, eh? People still watching this?
Are we supposed to be listening?
All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do an ad, and then we'll get into Firelight. Stick around, guys.
If I had to say it in like 2 words, I'd say, pure madness.
DEFCON 1 is a party which contains everything you miss in your personal life.
There's fireworks and lasers and flames and crazy music. I have some interesting collaborations coming. I have one with a really talented kid in Australia, Firelight. We're working on it now, so it's in the progress, so we're trying to finish it for DEFCON.
Party, beer, girls, music. In Australia you have sun. My favorite memory was that I was on a rubber boat on top of the audience doing a stage dive, so that was amazing. That was the most perfect moment in my life. Yeah.
So make sure you're there. It's gonna be fucking madness. So I'll see you there.
Aussie guys, me love you a long time. Be there as a part of a team. See you there.
Thanks, Luke, for telling me I did a good job.
You did a good job.
Woo! Thanks, man. Let's get into it. The term future of hardstyle gets thrown around a bit, but for our next guest, we feel this is a term that is very apt. Hailing from Australia's home of hardstyle, Sydney, this young man has already accomplished things that a seasoned DJ could only ever dream of. Having supported the likes of Code Black, obviously as you've seen in the video before, they are also making a track together, Tone Shifters, Audio Freaks, Hard Dance Alliance, and most recently Mist. He has performed at Australia's DEFCON 1 festival once or twice? Twice? Twice. Oh, I'm glad you clarified that. He's had his own focus night at Massive Saturdays, boasts 23,000 monthly subscribers on Spotify, and released an absolute string of tracks. Cementing his position as Australia's leading hardstyle producer, or one of Australia's leading hardstyle producers. To top all that off, he's not even 18 years old yet, he's only 17. Please welcome to the Unhinged studio, Mr. Firelight!
Hello!
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, guys.
How was that for a talk-up?
That was pretty good.
I was pretty happy with that.
You're too kind, man. You're too kind.
Luke helped me out with that research.
No. Oh, a little bit.
Luke loves me.
I did.
Yeah.
Thank you, Luke.
Shall we just get straight into the questions? Can we just start firing them off?
Why not?
Let's do it.
I want to know where Firelight came from, and I need you to sit forward when you talk,
I'm
so we can
sitting
hear
forward.
you. Thank you.
The name Firelight.
Yeah, how'd that come about?
It just sounds cool, to be honest. It has no, I'm sorry, but I don't have a deep deep story to back it up.
Did you come up with it yourself, or?
I did. I was like, what's a cool generic hardstyle DJ name? Oh, Firelight. That's cool. You know what I mean? Because, you know.
So when you come up with it, though, naturally you tell some friends, you're like, I'm going to call myself Firelight.
I told one of my mates, to be honest, and he was like, it's alright. Originally, it was going to be spelt with the Y, like Firelyte.
Because are you even hardstyle if you spell it correctly?
No. Well, it is still incorrectly. It's not Light.
That is true.
I'm the light version of fire. Firelight.
You practice. It sounded better in your head, I think, before.
Next time.
So in your bio, you mentioned musical influences like Stevie Wonder, Hans Zimmer, also that you can play drums and guitar.
A little bit.
Music has obviously been in your world for a long time. When did this electronic dance music begin?
To be honest, I used to be into shuffling, like all the crews and stuff. That's how I got into it. My cousin did it, and I listened to all like the more like commercial side of it, like Cascader and all that. And,
I love Cascader.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Like every time we touched, that was like, oof, in love. And yeah.
How old were you then? That was a long time ago.
Probably like 8. I don't know. But yeah. And yeah, I just loved it. And I was always around it. Like I've always been around music, and then gradually like my friends started, you know, my friends were all getting into like hardstyle and stuff, and then I started hearing, you know, like Headhunters tracks and all that. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and eventually I just started looking into it, and yeah.
That's kind of cool. Did you say you can play the guitar?
Yeah, somewhat.
Because I actually have a guitar. No, I'm only joking.
Oh, no. I was like, no.
You were actually producing under a different alias initially. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, well, I've had quite a few.
Have you? Tell me about all of them.
Oh, okay.
You're only 17. How could you have a few? I've had the one DJ name for like 15 years.
Well, me and my friend Jay, who's currently going under the name Alternator, were in a duo called Infusion for a while.
Yep.
We played a couple gigs under that and got a couple releases as well. And yeah, I can't remember what happened, but we just decided like we would just do our own thing. And before that, we were the Dream Chasers with a Z.
Wow.
Oh, wow, the Z.
I'm glad you changed that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's very... How old were you then?
I want to say like 13.
Well, that's a very 13-year-old sort of name to
100%.
come up with, actually.
Yeah.
What was the first track you wrote?
Ever?
As Firelight.
I think it was a bootleg of a Mako song called Our Story. Or is it Marco? I don't know how to pronounce it. But yeah.
I was gonna... originally, I was going to find those tracks so we could play them, but I didn't. Well done, Caleb.
Yeah.
Unlucky. I can sing it for you. I'll hum it. No, it's not happening.
Sweet. Do you ever pinch yourself that you're actually performing at events you can't attend?
Sort of. I don't know. It's hard to process.
Because I couldn't even fathom, like, especially when I seen that video of you playing in Adelaide.
Yeah.
Like, when I was 17 years old, if you put me in front of that many people, I would probably poo myself.
It's kind of just, you know, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Like, fake confidence, and hopefully it'll work. I don't know. I just love doing it so much that it...
I don't think you
natural.
fake shit, man, to be honest with you. Like
at the start it was, but now it's just like I don't know.
Because you even had like a focus night at Massive, which is obviously an over 18s for those watching overseas. It's an over 18s only event, and you rock in with your mum obviously because you need a legal guardian there to make sure you behave, I guess.
Yeah. Well, they won't let me in without it.
You headlined one of the biggest hardstyle clubs in the southern hemisphere at age 17.
It was pretty crazy. Like, it was when they told me I was going to do it. I was like, me?
Yeah.
Nah.
You had your own focus night at Massive, yeah?
Yeah.
So, was that the first time you played? That wasn't the first time you played at Massive, was it?
Nah, that was like, I want to say like the 5th.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
know. First time I played was, I think like the week after DEF CON last year.
Yeah, right.
That was, I don't know. I can't remember who was on. I was on with Radars, Riley.
I love Riley.
He's so great.
I hope Riley's watching.
Me and him have been going to raves since like we were little. He was one of my first like...
Because you started off in the Supernova days, is that
yeah,
right? That's where you...
and the Cloud9 and all that.
Since he was little. You're still little.
So big little.
For those of us, so I obviously moved to Sydney as an over 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Tell us about what is Supernova and what was the other one?
Cloud9.
Cloud9.
They're pretty much just like...
They're an underage rave, right?
Yeah, I think Sway and Pulsar put on the Supernova ones.
Yep.
And they pretty much would piggyback like off all the HSU events or even DEF CON sometimes. So they would like get 2 or 3 artists off the big lineups and put a small show on. But I don't think they're doing them anymore.
Really?
Yeah, because too many rowdy kids.
They were pretty rowdy.
I've heard awesome.
I've heard stories.
Because kids will dance to anything.
Is that right?
I will. Yeah. It's awesome.
Well, you're playing at DEF CON this year. Well, let's put that theory to the test. Well, you guys, I reckon that's adults.
A couple of weeks ago, you were in Adelaide.
I was
with the Mist tour with
Mist.
Yeah, how was that?
It was awesome. He's such a cool guy.
Yeah.
He's honestly like, yeah. It's I don't know. He's to be like on the lineup, like on par with him. You know what I mean? Because we were both headlining, was like crazy. You know what I mean? I thought if I ever did play an event with him, it would be to support him. But we were both up there, and the vibe was great. Both great sets.
When you were starting out as a DJ, you obviously looked up to a couple of these artists, and now you're playing alongside them. Does that spin you out a little bit?
It doesn't feel real, to be honest. Like, it's so hard to process. Like, I don't know. It's all happened so quickly.
Who is DJ Vortex DJ?
That is me.
That was you?
Yep.
Thanks for that input, Katie.
Did you actually get some information from my mum?
Is that your mum?
Wait, who? Katie?
Is Katie
Whelan?
Yeah.
That is my mother.
Hi, Mum.
Hi, Mum.
Yep, she said don't forget that one.
The whole family's probably watching as well.
You've got a pretty supportive family, though.
I've got the best family.
You
in the
really
world.
do. Because, like, even at a young age, you were getting a lot of press shots done by the look of it.
Both my sisters are photographers.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
It's so many resources.
Well, that's handy.
It's so handy.
Because I was trolling through your Facebook, looking up for. I got some photos going on the screen behind you.
Oh yes.
Some of them you're very young.
Yeah. There's some little ones in there.
But
yeah.
You were doing like full press shots at the beach and stuff. It's very cute. By the way, if anyone at home has any questions for Ben, feel free to fire them through because I've got.
Hit me up on Snapchat.
On Snapchat?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't have Snapchat. I wish.
They can just comment in the live stream here, and we can read them, and then we're just gonna ask them.
Just no questions from DJ Enderex, please.
Right.
I refuse.
Right.
Just
Can someone tag him in there?
Nick Nunes.
Yeah.
Or Nunez.
We're gonna have a little break.
We're gonna have a break.
We're gonna stick around, and we're gonna do the gig guide.
Sounds good.
You might be able to help me with that because I think you get a bit of a mention in it.
Maybe.
And then we're gonna get back into round 2 of the interview with Firelight.
We back.
MCD wants to know what's the hardest challenge you've faced as an up-and-coming artist.
Oh,
good question.
Do you want us to do the gig guide? You can have a think about that question, and then when we come back, you can answer it.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
Did someone need to write that down for him?
The hardest thing is trying to get drinks from the bar.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get into the gig guide, and we're going to... before we actually start the gig guide, I do have a couple of shout-outs I need to do. Because I had to make sure that we've got a few birthdays from some of our loyal listeners or viewers today. So Mally and Nadine and Mitch, happy birthday, who've all turned 18 again today, which is great. Oh man, you're gonna have to write those questions down, Luke. They're coming in pretty thick and fast. All right, let's kick into the gig guide, shall we? We're gonna start off with this Friday. With Noise Disorder's first birthday, which is the 10th of August. Noise Disorder, of course, pumps the sounds of hardcore. And what's going on?
Nothing.
Okay. It's really hard with you guys doing a lot of arm
You're
flailing.
doing good, Caleb.
Thanks. Shut the fuck up. On the 11th to the 12th, the Melbourne edition of Your Shot is occurring over the whole weekend. Your Shot obviously gives a platform for those up-and-coming DJs to get out of the bedroom and into a club-type environment. Neo Tokyo, I don't know how to pronounce this, it's Shibira, I think.
Something like that.
Oh dear. Is at a secret location that is on the 11th of August. So I love those underground vibes. That is actually at a genuine warehouse. I don't even know how to find that stuff out. Luke's going to put a link to the event in the comments section. And I can only assume maybe they're going to let you know. Also on the 11th, Massive Saturdays presents Local Heroes, an event made up of 100% Aussie producers. That's on August 11th. Are you playing at that, Ben?
I believe I am.
Are you headlining, though?
Second lining.
Second lining?
Yeah, I think Outbreak's first on the flyer, which is fitting.
I don't know. I've got the flyer in front of me, but it's too small on the screen for me to be able to read it. Heading to Brisbane now with Intensity Events. Intensity Events presents Ruler as part of the Gearbox Digital Tour. That is the 17th of August. Also on the 17th, if we head down to the nation's capital in Canberra, Cube's Go Hard or Go Home with Overdrive, a Melbourne-based duo with amazing production supported by Clive Warren, myself, Disaster, and Ben Penfold.
I love Ben Penfold.
You do?
He's great.
You love Ben?
I love Ben.
No, I reckon he's pretty cool, actually.
He's a cool dude. He's a good MC as well.
I'm actually really looking forward to that event. I love playing at Cube in Canberra.
Canberra's awesome.
It's cold.
It is cold, but it's not cold in the club.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah.
Maybe you should be doing this.
Maybe I should.
I'm gonna turn
no
your
one does a better job than
I'm just gonna turn your microphone down. All the way. No, I'm only joking. But I have. As mentioned earlier in the news, 8 of Sydney's hard dance brands are combining for unity. Pretty much the entire main room lineup, other than Matrix, is all the promoters from those brands. It's a must-attend event with a creme de la creme of all those brands performing, plus me. Oh, fuck. I think every time I tell a joke, I'm just going to throw money in the air, just for a reaction. It'll be coins, though.
Which works better?
Well, as long as people are making noise, that's all that matters. Also on the 18th is Total Mayhem. My understanding is Mitch, one of our friend that we mentioned earlier, is having a birthday. Instead of having just a birthday party, he thought, fuck it, let's put on a rave. So focusing on the sounds of Gabba, terrorcore, hardcore, up-tempo. The event is at Valve Bar, and it's just outside the lockout zone, and that is on the 18th of August. Hitting the ground running following Unity is Rehab versus Unhinged. That's right, we actually put on parties to it, Unhinged. Don't tell anyone that I'm also part of Rehab.
He's part of Rehab.
Thanks, man.
You're in Rehab.
I should be in Rehab, yes. The lineup for all that drops very, very shortly, so jump on the link in the comment section below and stay up to date there. Just announced tonight is Newcastle's Style August edition. I didn't write anything down because literally just before we went to air, this flyer came out. Dimatec headlines that one. Did I pronounce that properly?
I think it's Dematic.
Dematic?
Zatox.
Dematic.
Fuck up, Luke. I swear to God, one of these shows.
Frontliner?
One of these shows, I will launch myself across the table and strangle you.
I would love to see that.
It'll happen.
Plus 1K views.
If trance is more your flavour and you're still in Sydney, Transcendence presents Factor B at the Civic Underground. But let's be honest, you're busy that night because you're going to Rehab versus Unhinged.
That's right.
That's damn straight. Mally, you've just inboxed me. I've already mentioned it's your birthday, but thank you for the reminder and thanks for letting me know that you've just tuned in halfway through the show. Following Rehab versus Unhinged, of course, is a huge weekend at Massive Saturdays with the Gearbox Digital Tour. After selling out Saturdays in less than about half an hour, Massive have doubled down and will bring you. Will also be open on the Sunday night for those that either don't work on Monday or don't need to be sober to perform their tasks. Just a little ticket scalping warning, as mentioned on the show earlier. Ticket scalping is now illegal, and people cannot sell you overinflated prices of tickets. And if they do, please contact Massive Saturdays or the police and get that sorted out straight away. It's probably the only new law that's come in the last probably 5 or 6 years that I'm actually okay with. Luke, comment?
I want to know who gets the money. The government.
The government, yes.
Of course, I hope it goes back into the scene somehow.
You know it won't.
That's right.
Drum and Bass is your fave. Drum and Space is on Saturday, August 25th at Valve Bar for all that jungle goodness. I know Emre is going to be playing at that, so definitely pop on down if that's what you're into. I can't buzz. 170 returns on August 31st at Candy's apartment with Beauty and the Beast, where Sydney's UK hardcore beauties go head-to-head with Sydney's beasts. We'll let you decide which are the beauties and which ones are the beasts. That goes down on August 31.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And hang on, we're still going. Legacy is also, New Legacy is on at Valve Bar. That occurs on the 31st. That's a bit of a multi-genre fix. How do you pronounce that DJ's name again? Dematic. That's not really how I read it, but okay.
I think it's that.
Yeah. Well, he's playing at Candy's apartment on the 1st of the month, I do believe it is. Subculture, if you're down in Melbourne. At High Sense Arena, the gang from Evolution Events have none other than John O'Callaghan headlining. And this last one that we have in the gig guide has absolutely nothing to do about rave music whatsoever. But this is something I definitely wanted to let you guys know about because it's about a raver. The freaking awesome Jeremiah, who is often found in front and center of most dance events. Also, dance events throwing mad old school hacks, combined with a bit of muzzing, so you can't miss him. He's that tall dude. He's also been on the Slendy Show. He's also an actor, and we wanted to show him some love. His first ever solo show will be from the 4th to the 8th at Sydney Fringe in Newtown. I'm going to try and actually make it to all the shows. Both Luke and I have seen this young man tear up a stage and can vouch for his funniness.
Is it over 18?
It definitely is not.
Oh.
No, this is a play, bro. He's doing comedy.
I kind of want to go.
It's like $15, man. We should just get a group together.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's lock it in. That's it from Unhinged for the gig guide. These month ones go forever.
It's a month.
I know. It's really cool that there's so much stuff going on, but
it's because it's almost DEFCON time.
It's almost what?
DEFCON time.
It's almost DEFCON time. We're going to cover that in the next show. And we did have a DEFCON dedicated show last month, so but we'll get more into that. Let's have an ad break and get back to the Firelight interview. Oh, the boys sound like they're having a fair odd conversation there in the fucking toilet, don't they? What a weird place for the boys to be talking.
I know, right?
How's it going for you, bro? Yeah, no, it's coming out of it.
So we have some questions.
Yeah, we got heaps.
We do.
People want to know, like, who...
How do I do my hair so well?
No.
Oh, okay, well.
Who have been your influences?
Oh, the whole scene.
Really?
That's a shit answer.
I don't know, man. Oh, the main ones... I gotta say, Code Black, man. Code Black, 100%. I've seen him at so many shows when I was at under 18 events, and it's just like this dude is so cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know.
He's a good producer too.
Yeah. Also Cyber, as well. Huge influence, like music wise.
You look like Katsuki a little bit.
I've never I love his show, but I've never heard any of his music.
Oh wow.
Also Audio Freak.
Well, Katsuki doesn't produce, does he?
I think he does. Actually, I've heard his collab with Audio Freak.
Right.
Called Forgiven. That's a mad track.
Cooper wants to know if you're busy on Sunday. That's not really a legitimate question.
Not for you, bro.
What was that question that Carlos asked earlier?
What has been a highlight in your career so far?
The whole thing. Nah.
And your mum said if you can't answer it, she could. Was that the question?
I know, but Perla's got on here and said, I've heard the MC story about Ben. What's the MC story?
I don't know. Oh. In Adelaide, I MC'd for Mist because they didn't have an MC and he was worried that he would have a boring reaction if there wasn't an MC. So I did his intro and I sounded terrible.
Let's hear it.
No.
Come on.
No, I'm not going to do that right now.
You did a pretty good Dutch accent before.
I'm actually pretty impressed that you got up there and did some MC work.
I MC for myself a lot of the time.
Do you really?
Yeah, if there's no MC. I just do my own sets. It's pretty fun. I did it in Newcastle for Style and in Adelaide.
How long did it take you to make your first good hardstyle kick that you were happy with? This is a question from Jason Vanderber. I don't know.
A long time.
A long time? Because the hardstyle kick is not one of the easier ones to make, if I'm not mistaken.
I've made a lot, and a lot of them were terrible. But I used one for about 2 years, which, I don't know. Like, you just evolve it over time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, open the project again and work on it.
I'll tell you what, we're going to get into the questions, our questions, so then we stop asking questions that we're already about to ask.
Good idea.
Can you tell us about how you got booked for this year's Red Stage at DEF CON? How did this come about?
Whoa,
tell me the story. Was it a phone call?
Yeah.
Oh.
In January from Tim from Q-Dance.
Yep.
He just called me up and he's like, yo man, we want to put you on the Red Stage this year. And I'm like, what? It was insane. I was at school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because did you already have his number?
Well, he was the first person from Q-Dance to like ever contact me.
Right.
And so like we've just always, been in touch and stuff.
Because I've got a big thing about answering phone numbers that I don't know.
Yeah, no,
so
I had his number. Like I knew it was him calling.
I can only assume I've probably missed sets at Tomorrowland, HDID, all the HSU events because I just won't answer phone calls if I don't know the number.
That's fair enough.
I'm joking. So you're at school, you got a phone call?
Yeah. I was freaked out.
I would leave school straight away.
Yeah, I'd just go sign out. I don't need school.
Yeah.
No, stay in school, kids.
Was that a hard secret to keep? Because like you're at school with all of your mates.
I'd be like,
everyone. Motherfucker, I'm playing a You told everyone.
What? My mum, of course, and those closest.
Yep.
Yeah, but
you got to tell someone, don't you?
Yeah, there's no way I could just like keep that in.
Yeah,
it was crazy, but like as soon as it like got properly announced, I was like,
yeah,
it just
right.
felt more real. You know what I mean?
Because your first year was at Purple.
Yeah,
was it? And
Purple,
then the second year was
BLN, and then last year I played on the
UV stage. Yeah. Yep. And now you're on the big one, mate.
On the big one.
And your name's like right next to Headhunters on the flyer.
It's insane.
I still can't believe this kid's only 17.
If you could pick one artist, any, to make a track with.
Or just one?
Well, that was the question, yes.
Or like more than one.
Just one? Or firstly, just one?
Yeah, what's your number one? And then you can have some...
Style?
No.
Honestly, Illenium. Have you heard of him?
Tell us about Illenium.
Yeah.
No, I haven't either.
He's I wouldn't say pop. He does like sort of like... Yeah, he's known in dubstep, but he has a very like... Yeah, future. It's very like melodic, his stuff.
Yep.
And it's just, I don't know, his songs go so well like into hardstyle. And I think to write a song with him would be awesome.
And what would your other picks be that you mentioned you wanted to say?
Audio Freak.
Yeah.
I just think that would be...
Has he not retired?
Oh, who cares? Like, you know, what I mean? Just to even be a fly on the wall in his studio would be crazy. You know what I mean? Just watch what he does.
He's got some energy, eh?
Yeah, I get a lot of my like
you
live
do.
inspiration from him. You know what I mean?
You're a bit of a showman as well.
Yeah, I love it, man. It's so good.
Back to Carlo's question. What's one of the hardest challenges you've had as an up-and-coming DJ? And given your age, have you faced any adversity compared to what you think some of the older people might not have to face, other than the ID at the security thing?
Well, when I was like starting out, there was like hints of like not being taken seriously. You know what I mean? Just because of the age, but you know, I just never like let it like get to me. Just kept doing my thing. But I don't know. It's been pretty cruisy.
Because a couple of years ago, you did have a baby face. Like you're starting to.
I still have a baby face, bro.
Yeah, but before.
They've dropped now.
I'm not gonna lie. If someone said, "Oh, this is Firelight. He's a hardstyle producer," I'd think someone was. I'd be like, "All right, bring the real Firelight out now, please, if you wouldn't mind." And I don't mean that offensively at all. Like you're just crazy fucking young there. That doesn't take away from your talent whatsoever. So yeah, okay, that actually would be quite the down. How'd you overcome that though? Just let your music do the talking, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It never really got to me, but like because there were still people who were taking me seriously, it didn't matter. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I just kept doing my thing.
As you should.
Yeah.
So for DEF CON, for the red stage, how do you plan your set? Are you gonna do like pretty much all Firelight produced tracks?
I think so. And if I do play other tracks, they'll probably be edits.
Yep.
And I'll play a lot of stuff from friends. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like
support your bros out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just sort of, you know, represent the Aussie sound on the main
cool.
stage.
Because it's hard when you're like playing at a festival and like a lot of the music that you would normally play are actually artists that are going to be playing at other times throughout the day.
Exactly that.
It definitely takes out a lot of tracks that might be in your normal set list.
Exactly. But then it's like, I don't want to play all my own stuff because I don't want to bore people. You know what I mean? Like I'll play my bigger ones in my more energetic tracks, but like I'm also starting to write more for live sets instead of, because I started off with just like some of my breaks in my songs were like 3 minutes. You know what I mean? It just doesn't go live. Like
it doesn't, does it?
No.
There's a lot of standing up behind the decks going.
Yeah, especially in Australia. Like just people just want to dance. You know what I mean? You can't really dance to 3 minutes of strings.
Maybe we should play some hard trance one time.
We should.
Then you'll probably get used to 3 minute breakdowns because
even just trance. I love trance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you had to pick a genre other than hardstyle that you enjoy mixing most, what would it be?
UK hardcore.
Really?
Yeah, or raw.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's just so fun to like bounce to.
I hope the guys at 170 and Dave PSI. Oh, Dave would be all over it, wouldn't he?
I love Dave. Shout out to Dave PSI.
Tell us about Dave, because you guys do have quite a friendly relationship on Facebook, don't you?
Well, he absolutely roasted the shit out of me for Massive Wars. He just exposed all my vulnerabilities.
Is that
all
right?
All of my past, like, cringe photos.
He did do that, actually.
He did. He's a funny man, though.
I wish I had some of those. Maybe, while...
You could find the thread very easily.
Don't worry.
Okay.
While you're doing your mix. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Jeremiah wants to know, what lessons did you have to learn the hard way? And were you grateful for those lessons?
Oh, one time in a set, I like left the phaser on for about 5 minutes. and Kean, you know Kean?
Yeah.
He had to come up and he was like, bro, he just turned it off. I'm like, that was at ESI. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah.
I've done a similar thing with the filter.
Yeah.
But it was only moved a little bit.
Really?
And I was like, why does that sound so shit?
Yeah, you just hear just
like two tracks later, I'm just like, that's
okay.
Yeah, that feels really stupid.
Yeah, it's the worst. But I never did it again.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But
Yeah.
like, I've seen you play a few times I started DJing when I was 18 and I made mistakes left, right and centre. You're pretty rock solid as a mixer.
Well, it's just too much pressure. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can't fuck up.
I fuck up all the time, man. It's...
Yeah, I've done a lot, the old press Q.
Ash says Phaser is life.
Yeah. Phaser is life.
Soph Gosling.
That's my sister.
That's your sister?
She loves you.
She really does.
She's the best.
She put a heart in there and everything.
My sister's never said anything that nice to me. Like,
what'd she say?
No, she blocked him.
Firelight is a legend. Love you. That's not really a question, though.
That's a compliment.
It is a compliment, but and she takes good photos. Obviously,
she does.
She could have returned that compliment. Instead, you
take great photos.
What's in the works for Firelight?
Oh,
obviously, we heard the
much,
we heard the video with Code Black. So
tone shifters.
With tone shifters.
Yeah.
Was it?
They're the same, but not the same.
Okay.
Yeah, that's alright.
That's fine.
We all make mistakes, Caleb.
Mate, thanks.
You're doing a good job, Caleb.
You're doing a great job.
Woo! So anyway, tell us about that. Is that going to be ready for DEF CON?
It's ready for tonight.
Oh shit!
Oh really?
I don't know. Should I play it?
If we get have Q Dance been sitting on that video for a little while? Have they?
I don't know. I think that looks like it was filmed at NL.
Yeah.
We've been sort of planning it. We had a different sort of idea we were going to work on, but we didn't go through with that one because it was a bit shit.
Right.
But the one we did now I think it's going to be pretty big.
I reckon we should definitely play that tonight.
All right. Might have to watermark it. Justin
Gillies wants to say big shout out from Newcastle.
Shout out to the Nui crew.
And how hard are you going to go on your 18th?
I'm going to be very, very restrained.
Restrained.
No, I would probably recommend that. Only because, like, you've got a superstar, a rising superstar. Now, he can't have a video on Facebook of, like, someone drawing dicks on his face.
That's right. You need to think about...
because he's passed out on his 18th birthday.
I've thought it out, and I'll have a few bevies, but...
Leave your phones at the door.
Yeah, no social media.
I'll tell you what, we're gonna have a bit of a break, and we're gonna wrap up this interview. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Ben, you're gonna stick around and have a mix on the decks.
I am.
And we're just gonna have a break, and while you set all that up.
Sweet.
If anyone else has any more questions, we're gonna have a chat after the mix as well.
No worries.
So stick around, people.
See you then.
Drop the world.
Are listening to Firelight on Unhinged TV.
Oh,
at the wall. Since I met you, I've been so messed up, it's critical. I want your everything, but you ain't getting back. It's getting deep now, it's getting deep now. I was crazy, so naive too. You mean everything to me, but I mean nothing to you. Never should've said how, never should've let my eyes turn back. I was happy on my own. I never should've said hello. Never should've said hello. Never should've let my eyes turn back. I was happy on my own. I never should've said hello.
This will be your home for now. Don't think too hard about all of this. Just go out and kill a few beasts. Show you mercy. Forget the dream and awake under the morning sun.
I've been on my own, walking through a bed of roses, stepping through with all my focus, looking for a sign today to tell me all the reasons that I lie awake. But I still feel alive. I know I was chosen when I lost my mind, yeah. I can see it in your eyes. I know you can see it when I open mine. I can hear you, though I don't know why. I can hear you from inside my mind. I've been on my own, walking through a bed of roses, stepping through with all my focus, looking for a sign today to tell me all the reasons that I lie awake. But I still feel alive. I know I was chosen when I lost my mind, yeah. I can see it in your eyes. I know you can see it when I open mine. I can hear you, though I don't know why. I can hear you from inside my mind. I've been on my own. I can hear you, though I don't know why. I can hear you from inside my mind.
The end is upon us. The Earth has been pulled to extinction. Few of us are left, but together we evolve.